Ladies and gentlemen, friends, please take your seats. The program is about to begin.
Good evening. Good evening. Can you hear me? Well, I've got a booming voice anyway, I think, but it's nice to see the alumni, students, faculty, staff, friends, and special guests here. Good evening and welcome to the 2025 Alumni Award Ceremony. I'm Paul Hensley, class of 1987. It's a privilege to be with you tonight and celebrate some of the most extraordinary members of our Trinity family. This is my first year as board president, and already I've been inspired by the ways our alumni community shows up for one another and for Trinity. You embody the spirit of Tigers Helping Tigers, a lifelong tradition of mentorship, generosity, and engagement. Tonight's ceremony is more than a celebration of achievement. It's a reminder of the remarkable impact that Trinity alumni are making across the world. The individuals we honor this evening represent the best of what it means to be a Trinity alum, leaders who use their talents, compassion, and creativity to forge paths that inspire others to follow. Each year we receive an incredible number of nominations for these prestigious awards, and our Alumni Association Board, made up of alumni from across generations, professions, and locations, undertakes the difficult job of selecting honorees. Their dedication ensures that we continue to recognize excellence that reflects the diversity and distinction of the Trinity experience. To the selection committee and every board member who played a part in this process, thank you for your time, your insight, and your unwavering commitment to our alma mater. And if you're here tonight, I'd love you to stand up just so everybody can see the folks that are on the board and the folks that are part of the selection committee. Now I'm honored to introduce President Dr. Vanessa Beasley. Under President Vanessa Beasley's leadership, Trinity stands at a moment of extraordinary momentum and promise. Her tenure has been marked by bold initiatives to expand access, enhance academic excellence, and elevate the university's national profile. She has strengthened Trinity's foundation while inspiring a renewed focus on what makes this place special to our people. Through her vision, more students are empowered to transform their lives and become the kind of exemplary alumni we celebrate this evening. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Vanessa Beasley.
Thank you, Paul, for that very kind introduction. And hello, everybody. It's so great to see you here today, especially our students who've joined us today for this special ceremony. I really appreciate Paul's contributions as chair of our Alumni Association Board, and I join him in thanking all of the members of the board for what you do. You show up for Trinity. Of course, you give these awards. That's probably some of the more fun part of your work, but you show up and you care, and you're part of the foundation of what makes this university so wonderful. Thank you for that. Alumni have done and how they've helped each other in the world, how they've helped others, and basically how they fuel the momentum that Trinity has at this moment. Tonight, as you'll see and hear, we're going to celebrate their accomplishments. We're going to celebrate the impact they've made on other people, and we're also going to be reminded reminded of the power of a Trinity education to transform individuals, communities, and we hope the world. Trinity University is at an exciting moment in our history. I'm so grateful to have arrived at this wonderful university when I did, and to have inherited so much good work that was done for generations before I arrived. And you've done much of that work, so I want you to feel part of the moment too, and to celebrate, as I do, your achievements and your contributions. I'm delighted, of course, to take a few minutes to brag on where we are right now as a community, and we are receiving some well-deserved recognition. When I was hired, part of the charge that I was given by the search committee and the trustees was, hey, we're done with being the hidden gem. Let's take away some of the hidden and stay the gem, right? And I'm really proud to announce, as I hope you've seen already, that just this year in the most recent issue of the U.S. News and World Report education rankings, in the liberal arts sector, we ranked 37 among private liberal arts universities in the United States out of over 200. So let's hear it for that. If you've heard me talk about rankings before, you know that it is true we are not chasing a number. Don't get me wrong, I'm proud of that number, and I'm proud of all the work that goes into that number. But in that number in particular, one of the things I'm really proud of is it measures things that matter to us. It measures graduation rates, it measures small classroom sizes, it measures our ability to say that our Pell-eligible students are graduating and succeeding at the same rate our non-Pell-eligible students are. So I just want you to know the values that go behind those numbers and how proud I want you to be of your university. And also, let's be honest for a second, the value of your degree continues to go up as these moments of national recognition come up too. There's another number from that U.S. News and World Report that I want you to know of the many accolades we got this time. We climbed 14 spots this year to number 16 in the nation for most innovative schools. I'm really proud of that. And as I talk to alumni in particular about what it means to be recognized as a most innovative school, I want to be really clear about something. The core values of Trinity University, the value and importance of that faculty-student relationship, the learning and the mentoring, and the just being there for each other, that stays the same. So I want you to know that we innovate in ways that we think make the university and the education we offer stronger, but we're also very committed to that history and that legacy of excellence and the kind of education you benefited from too. And new students and their families are paying attention too. The interest from prospective families in our university has reached an all-time high. Some of the board members saw just like hot off the presses from today's statistics about how things are looking now with early decision. And this last class, our acceptance rate reached an all-time low, which is good on that one, for the class of 2029, coming in just under 25%, which is an all-time low in the university's history. And speaking of 25, the last point I'll brag on with just such deep gratitude is we just recently were the recipient of a transformational $25 million gift from the Carlos Alvarez family. With this naming gift, we will name our School of Arts and Humanities for Mr. Alvarez, the Carlos Alvarez School of Arts and Humanities. And I also want you to know that significant portions of that gift were earmarked for scholarships, for making sure that our humanities faculty have resources, and for making sure that we keep the value of a liberal arts education, even for those people who aren't majoring in the humanities, that we keep that available. Because we do believe, particularly in this moment, as we all think about what's going to happen in an AI-driven world, staying at the core of our values and what it means to be humane and human in this world is very important. So again, I want to express my deep gratitude for that gift. As proud as we are of all of these accomplishments and as grateful as I am for that support, again, these accolades and that support alone, that's not the destination. That's not the point. That's a signal of the momentum that we have, and it's also a signal of the quality of the education we offer here. As you may be aware, we're in the beginning stages of our next strategic plan to think about how we harness all the great things we're doing and get even better. And we're also in the middle, or perhaps the late stages, of our most ambitious campaign in the university's history, where the goal is to raise $300 million. If you've heard us talk about this, you know that, of course, we want to encourage our supporters to think about how they might contribute to that goal. But it's not just your financial resources we're interested in. We also just want your engagement. And I can't make this point clearly enough to our group of alumni assembled here today. Whatever time or bandwidth you have, even just to speak to a Trinity student, that's what we want. We want your engagement. We want your example. We want your words of wisdom and, frankly, your candor about your story and the successes you've had, but also maybe some of the challenges and failures along the way. So to those of you that have contributed already, either financially or through your time to our campaign, which is called Our Time, I want to say thank you. And to those of you who want to know more about that, I'm sure there are many people who could share that information and those opportunities with you. It is, of course, again, a team sport. It takes all of us. It takes our talented faculty, our wonderful and dedicated staff, and our bright, curious, and I will say inspiring students to make this place what it is. And I'm so grateful for the contributions that each one of those make. And as we think about what our proof point is in the world, I say this all the time, it's you, alumni. You're the difference that the Trinity education makes, and the people that you work with and serve every day see that. So again, whether you're an award winner tonight or not, thank you for what you're doing to carry the Trinity name and example into the world. And I'd also like to say thank you for the people who are the past award winners who are here tonight to celebrate the next generation. Would you rise for a moment if you've been a past recipient of one of these awards? As I looked around to the people who stood up, I know, and perhaps you do too, they are still contributing, right? They are still members of this community who are contributing in such active and important ways. So again, you have my deep gratitude as well. And now, let's get on with the show, as they say. Please join me in welcoming back Paul Hensley, who will serve as our Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, Dr. Beasley. Tonight we will honor 9 alumni in 5 categories: Fraternity and Sorority Life Alumni Advisor of the Year, Tower Awards, Outstanding Young Alumnus, Spirit of Trinity, and Distinguished Alumnus. Our first award of the evening is the Fraternity and Sorority Alumni Advisor of the Year Award, which recognizes outstanding alumni service in an advisory capacity to a Trinity fraternity or sorority. I'm honored to present this year's award to Mary Hayden Manning, class of 2013. Mary Hayden is a dedicated leader, mentor, and advocate who has made it her life's work to build meaningful connections both within Trinity and beyond. As the Director of Youth, Children, and Family Ministries at St. David's Episcopal Church and School, my kids went there, by the way, Mary brings people together through faith, service, and understanding. Her ability to connect, guide, and inspire young people reflects the very essence of a Trinity education, preparing compassionate leaders to become ready to make a difference. Mary Hayden's commitment to her alma mater runs deep. Since 2021, she has served as a formal sorority advisor and now leads as president of the Gamma Chi Delta Alumni Association, where her vision and energy have strengthened the bonds between generations of Trinity women. Under her leadership, she launched a sustaining membership program in 2023, which helped raise funds and supports scholarships and creates opportunities for lifelong engagement. A loyal donor to Trinity, Greek Council, and her club scholarship fund, Mary Hayden also embodies the spirit of Trinity of Tigers Helping Tigers, ensuring that Trinity experience continues to flourish for future students. Through her unwavering dedication, servant leadership, and heartfelt generosity, Mary Hayden has built a legacy of connection that will continue to inspire others for years to come. Please join me in congratulating our 2025 Fraternity and Sorority Life Alumni Advisor of the Year recipient, Mary Hayden Manning.
What an honor it is to receive this year's Fraternity and Sorority Life Alumni Advisor of the Year Award. I'm especially glad to be the first one up here and not have to follow any of my fellow awardees. This is a very impressive group. When I think about what this award represents, the word that comes to mind is community. I am who I am today because of the communities that have shaped me. And one of the most formative communities for me was right here at Trinity University with the women of Gamma Chi Delta. The women I met in Gamma are still my very best friends to this day. We've been in each other's weddings, held each other's babies, and laughed through just about everything in between. To know me is to know my pledge class. We are a package deal. These women have walked beside me through every season of life for the past 15 years, and I truly wouldn't be standing here without them. Community has continued to be the heart of my life and my career. As Paul mentioned, I serve as the Director of Youth, Children, and Family Ministries at St. David's Episcopal Church here in San Antonio. My job is to build safe, welcoming spaces for young people who are figuring out who they are and where they belong. My work has prepared me perfectly to step in as an alumni advisor. I often joke that the Gammas are my second youth group, although sometimes they take up more of my time than my actual youth group. Being an advisor is one of my favorite roles because I get to help create for today's students the same sense of belonging and friendship that shaped my own life here at Trinity. Every new group of actives reminds me so much of my time as a student. They are full of energy, of humor, and of heart. Our club's motto is in unity, individuality, and it could not be more fitting. Gammas are wildly different. Many of them are in this room tonight. We have different backgrounds, different interests, and different personalities, but somehow it all blends into something beautiful. Strong, funny, capable women who show up for each other, who build each other up, who make every space better just by being in it. So I accept this award with a lot of gratitude for the women who came before me, for the students who inspire me, and for the community that continues to shape who I am every day. Thank you for this incredible honor, and thank you for continuing to make Trinity a place where community truly matters.
Congratulations, Mary Hayden. The Tower Awards recognize select alumni who set a standard of excellence through outstanding professional achievements or community service. Our first Tower Award recipient, Patricia Blattman, is a visionary leader and a lifelong advocate for learning who has left an extraordinary mark on countless lives. Patricia graduated from Trinity in 1982 with a master's degree in education and went on to build a remarkable career with Northside Independent School District, where she served for more than 4 decades. From her early years as a classroom teacher to her leadership as Deputy Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, Patricia dedicated her career to helping students and educators reach their full potential. Along the way, she served as a principal at 2 Northside high schools, supervised the district's gifted and talented programs, and earned recognition as Northside Teacher of the Year and recipient of the Northside Distinguished Achievement Award. When she retired in 2002, her impact was celebrated in the most meaningful way imaginable, the opening of the Patricia J. Blattman Elementary School, a lasting tribute to her commitment to education and to the community she faithfully served. But Patricia's influence has extended well beyond the walls of any classroom. She served as an adjunct professor in Trinity's graduate program for education leadership for a decade, shaping the next generation of school leaders and carrying forward the values she learned right here on campus. Patricia continues to serve her community outside of education, too. She is a docent at the McNay Art Museum, a founding member of the Northside ISD School Museum, a member of the Northside ISD Bond Advisory Committee, and a longtime board member for OASIS, a national nonprofit promoting healthy aging and lifelong learning. And through it all, she has remained deeply connected to Trinity, attending alumni events, mentoring others, and proudly representing the university that helped shape her leadership journey. Her story embodies the very spirit of Trinity, where knowledge meets purpose and where compassionate leaders rise to make a lasting difference in the world. So please join me in celebrating a remarkable educator and community builder, Tower Award winner recipient, Patricia J. Blattman. It's heavy.
These are not mine. Hope you brought an extra suitcase on you award.
Good evening, and thank you so much to the Trinity Association, Alumni Association, for this wonderful award. Like the previous award winner, I feel very humbled to be among such magnificent awardees, and I greatly appreciate it. My experiences here at my experiences here at Trinity University really changed my life. When I entered the Educational Leadership Master's Program here in 1980, I had a very limited and very naive idea about what school leadership was. I thought you kind of schmoozed in the office, ate with kids in the cafeteria, met the cars out in the front, and greeted children in the morning and bid them goodbye in the evening, and that was pretty it. Oh, at 2 o'clock you checked the boys' bathroom. But in reality, I didn't really have my heart set on being a school administrator. At the time, I was teaching gifted kids, grades 3 through 5, and what better job is that? It was a joy. I loved teaching. I loved the one-to-one school contact with students. I loved that electric moment when a child said, "Oh, I get it now." Or that very, very sweet moment when a child said, "You're my favorite teacher." And so I just decided I would get a master's degree, and that was the natural progression for a professional educator, which I considered myself to be. But my eyes were opened when I came to Trinity, and through the wonderful professors that I had here. And some of you may remember Dr. John Moore, Dr. Ivan Fitzwater, Dr. Thomas Sergiovanni. Through their eyes, my eyes were opened to a whole concept of school leadership that had nothing to do with rules or authority or power, but rather had to do with helping others, serving others, collaborating with others, promoting the strengths and talents of others, and collaborating to support a common mission and goal. And those kinds of ideas ended up being my philosophy of education and sent my whole career on a different trajectory. And from there on, I went into a great many administrative roles. I still love teaching. One of the greatest gifts in my life was when the Patricia J. Blattman School was named, and they allow me to come there and be with the children. I go there to get my kid fix, and it's a wonderful experience, and I feel like in that setting I can continue to support the school, support the children, and help make our education community better for the children that are there. 20 years later, after I left the master's program here, I came back as an adjunct professor here at Trinity to teach in the same program, and I enjoyed doing that as well. I had a thrilling experience to work with magnificent students who, many of them have gone on to be wonderful leaders, movers and shakers in this community, and have really turned into people who have made an impact, a positive impact on education in our community. Trinity has a long time been a beacon of support and inspiration to not only school leaders, but to school systems in this entire city. There have been a number of collaborations that school leaders have been in with Trinity University, such as the School Management Assembly and the Center for Educational Leadership, that where administrators were invited to come and collaborate and learn about new ways of addressing today's problems in education. And I am just thrilled to have been a part of that. When I was deputy superintendent of Northside, I had an opportunity to work with a lot of the collaborations with Trinity University, and it was a joy to do that. It was Dr. Sir Giovanni and Dr. Moore who came to us with the innovative idea of a magnet school devoted to communication arts, which led to one of our most successful magnet high schools in Northside. And so Trinity continues to be a part of my life. It shaped my career, and I'm very thankful for every moment of it. I really appreciate the fact that my career journey brought me to Trinity, and I feel very blessed to have been here. Thank you so much for this award. And now to Claire. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Patricia. Our next Tower Award recipient is Dr. Homero Garcia, class of 1971. A physician, veteran leader, and lifelong advocate for education and service. During Homero's years on campus, he served as president of the student body, earned a recognition in Blue Key National Honor Fraternity, and was awarded the Superior Cadet Citation through ROTC, all while excelling academically and building the foundation for an extraordinary career ahead. After graduation, Homero went on to earn both his Doctor of Medicine and Master of Public Health degrees from Harvard University, launching a distinguished medical career that would span more than 3 decades. As a board-certified gastroenterologist and owner of a successful private practice in San Antonio, he dedicated his private life to healing and serving others with the same humility and excellence that defined him since his Trinity days. Beyond medicine, Dr. Garza has devoted over 30 years of combined service in the U.S. Army and Army Reserves, retiring with the rank of colonel, which we talked about today at lunch. Throughout his career, he was called back to the active duty several times in support of American troops overseas, following in the proud military tradition of his father, who served in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. In his community, Dr. Garza's impact is just as profound. He has served on the Board of Trustees for the San Antonio Museum of Art, the Health Facilities Development Corporation of San Antonio, and the board of the UT Health Science Center and Mays Cancer Center at MD Anderson. But his deep connection to Trinity has remained constant. His daughter Nicole, his son Abe, and his sister Maria Grousman are all proud Trinity alumni, carrying forward his legacy of leadership and learning. And for more than 45 consecutive years, Dr. Garza has generously given back to the university. He has co-chaired alumni fundraising efforts and even endowed a scholarship in honor of his parents, Remedios and Alicia Garza, which aims to open doors for kids in Bexar County to also attend Trinity. Dr. Garza's life has been one of purpose, generosity, and connection, an enduring example of what it means to live out Trinity's mission after graduation. Please join me in celebrating the true servant leader and a proud Trinity Tiger, the recipient of the 2025 Tower Award, Dr. Homero R. Garza.
Good evening and welcome everyone, especially my family, and I noticed some of my fraternity brothers from Pershing Rifles are here. Thank you for that kind introduction and for the recognition for the Trinity Alumni Community Tower Award. I will speak primarily about my family and its intersection with Trinity's education. It is with my parents' vision of our family's future that I have endowed a Trinity scholarship in their name, Remedios L. and Alicia U. Garza, in order to assist students from Bexar County attend Trinity and hopefully to encourage students to enter the fields of education and sciences. Neither of our parents were college graduates when we were growing up, but they both recognized the importance of education. My mother's family had a small farm in the Rio Grande Valley, and my father legally immigrated here from Mexico. As a green card holder, however, my father was drafted into the United States Army in 1942 and was sent overseas to war. My parents realized that education could change the trajectory of our family's history, and so it has. We grew up in a military family stationed all over Texas and Europe, mostly France. In the 1950s and 60s, South Texas was segregated, and we could only attend the schools designated for Mexican Americans. This was in spite of the fact that our father was often assigned to unaccompanied tours overseas, having to leave his family behind. He was a veteran of World War II and Korea and Vietnam, as you just heard. His headstone at the National Cemetery reflects he was on the first wave that hit the beaches at Normandy on D-Day and was decorated for his bravery on those beaches. In his absences, it was left to our mother to advocate for us. Our mother aspired to be a teacher, and she used her own small library at home to supplement our education. Neither of our parents accepted an excuse from us that any substandard work in school was because of inferior schools or inferior resources. Once my father retired from the military, Mom was in one place long enough to pursue her own college education and became a teacher. Our whole family has lived the American dream. My father, ironically, became a naturalized American citizen while serving in combat in World War II. I say ironically because his naturalization papers were signed in Bristol, England. Yes, England. Our parents' philosophy about education had an impact on all of us. My brother, rest in peace, died too young, but my older sister, Cora, earned her bachelor's degree and her master's degree at a different university. My younger sister, Maria, followed me to Trinity and also followed me to Harvard University for her graduate degree. My daughter, Nicole, received her bachelor's and 2 graduate degrees at Trinity. Her brother, Abe, graduated from the engineering program at Trinity and then earned his master's in computer science from Texas A&M College Station. My sister, my sister Maria's granddaughter, Rebecca Parrish, also graduated from Trinity and is now a practicing pediatrician in Colorado. My time at Trinity was indeed life-changing. In my senior year, I had the honor of serving as the first Mexican-American president of the Student Association at Trinity. As a student, my professors encouraged me to pursue my medical career. After graduating from medical school and serving my required time in the Army, I returned to San Antonio and was honored that many of my former professors became my patients. A startling fact when you consider that I am a gastroenterologist. Because of my belief in Trinity, I have contributed every year for over 45 years at the associate's or the senior associate's level. I also have the two graduate degrees from Harvard, but I treasure my Trinity degree the most because it is the bedrock upon which the other degrees were earned. Thank you again for this award. Thank you to Trinity for a world-class education, and most of all, thank you for allowing me to share my family's story, which is now part of the Trinity story. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations, Dr. Garza. Our next Tower Award honoree is a leader whose influence extends from the boardrooms of one of the Texas's most respected banks. Dan Geddes, class of 1996, serves as Group Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer of Cullen Frost Bankers, Incorporated, and Frost Bank. Dan's remarkable career with Frost began nearly 3 decades ago in January of 1997 when he joined as a credit analyst. From there, he worked in the commercial real estate lending group in San Antonio before moving to Houston, where he became a commercial lender, a production credit officer, and eventually sales manager leading Frost's commercial real estate group. His leadership and vision helped drive Frost's expansion across the Houston market, opening 25 new financial centers in just over 2 years, nearly doubling the bank's presence and surpassing every goal for deposits, loans, and new customers. In 2021, Dan was appointed region president for Frost San Antonio operations, overseeing all aspects of banking in the city that first captured his heart as a Trinity student. Today, as CFO, he continues to guide the company's financial strategy and operations with the same integrity, discipline, and people-first approach that define Frost's success. Beyond his professional accomplishments, Dan is deeply invested in the San Antonio community. He serves as the chair of the Finance Committee for the Remember the Alamo Foundation, a board member of SA Digital Connects, an advisory board for UT Health San Antonio Center of Medical Humanities and Ethics. That's a lot of stuff there. And member of both Public Policy Council and the Workforce and Education Council for the Greater San Antonio Chamber. He also serves on the advisory board for San Antonio Sports and is a proud alumnus of Leadership San Antonio's class of 46. Dan often credits his Trinity experience with shaping him into a better communicator and leader, lessons that have guided him every day since. And he hasn't just carried those lessons forward, he's brought them home. Since returning to San Antonio, Dan has re-engaged with his alma mater in powerful ways, serving as a guest judge for the 2024 Stumberg Venture Competition, helping secure Frost Bank's $10,000 sponsorship of its final round, and now serving on the executive campaign committee for the public phase of Trinity's capital campaign. His partnership with President Beasley and his ongoing engagement with the university exemplify the leadership and service that this award celebrates. Please join me in celebrating this highly respected community leader and passionate advocate for Trinity, Tower Award recipient Dan Geddes.
You did great. Yeah, that is a mouthful. First of all, thank you. It is quite an honor, and I'm just really humbled to be part of this group. The first 3 were just amazing, and I did want to start out by just trying to impress y'all with my cinema knowledge. And so I brought up, tried to think about what would be really impressive and what's the movie that might capture today. And I could think of no other movie than the cinema classic, Young Guns 2, where a young William H. Bounty, a.k.a. Billy the Kid, says to his 3 fellow friends, Doc Scurlock, Chavez E. Chavez, and Dirty Dave Rudabaugh, you got 3 or 4 good pals? Well, then you got yourself a tribe. Ain't nothing stronger than that. And so I get to talk about today the impact Trinity had on me. And a lot of it's with people. And one of them is the spirit of Trinity Award winner, Jacob Tingle. And I don't know if there's anyone else here who knew Jacob before Trinity. And I met Jacob when I was 15 years old in a small town called Schulenburg, Texas. We happened to be playing in a basketball tournament. He was playing for a smaller school, Dripping Springs, And my coach said, I want you to come watch this game. We're not going to play this team, but I want you to watch this player, Jacob Tingle. And I was 15 years old, and I just started playing and trying to adjust to playing with kids that were older than me. And he wanted me to watch him for a reason, is that he could get his shot off. And I was this tall, but like 30 pounds lighter, and I was, struggling with just the physicality, and I could watch how he played, and he could get his shot off, but he was a great player. But what I noticed is not just how good of a basketball player, but what a better teammate he was. And how he was their best player by far, but how he picked up his teammates and how he encouraged them, and how he interacted with his coach, how he interacted with the referees, how he interacted with the other team. And then come 3 or 4 years later, I go to Trinity, and who do I get to meet? Jacob Tingle. And what do? I watch him. I watch how he treats people. And he treats people with grace. He treats people with kindness. And so you guys did a great job. I just wanted to mention that. So Trinity's impact. I could think about Dr. Daniel Walls. He was a professor, and he introduced this book called Liar's Poker by Michael Lewis. And it really got me started thinking about finance, and it was just creative, and it was one of those aha moments in my life. And come a year later, he comes and says, "What are you going to do after you graduate?" And I go, "Well, I'm looking for a job." And he hands me the business card of somebody at Frost Bank, and I just think he took the time to care about me. He could have offered that to you. Maybe he offered it to everybody. I don't know. But I felt like we're going to go with this story, that he handed it to me because maybe he saw something in me that Frost might identify with in their values. And it certainly has worked out for me. And I think about Dr. Patria Sandlin, who I was not her best student by far. Probably middle of the pack at best. But she would write me handwritten letters every time she saw my name be promoted in the Business Journal. I would get this sweet letter from Dr. Sandlin. And I just think, like, wow, I mean, you took time out of your day to write me a letter. And that really, all these things kind of stuck with me, from Jacob to Dr. Walls to Dr. Sandlin. And it's just about the little things. The impact that Trinity has been the people. And you think about heart, and you think about grace, which is undeserved favor, which I am just the recipient of over and over again. And I had a son that had a illness about in 2005. And I think about the Trinity people that came around. Aaron Wiggins is here. He's my friend. He's my pal. He's part of the tribe, right? And so I think about the people in my life that took time. It's scary to think about that, to think about a child that's not even 2 years old that gets diagnosed. What do you say to a parent? Well, just say anything. Say, "I'm thinking of you." Say, "Hey, let's go grab a beer. Hey, this is something funny. I still want to laugh, even though I'm going through a tragedy." It was 10 years, and I had pals, I had friends from Trinity. I was fortunate to be with a fraternity group, Omega Phi. There's some here today that are current, and then there's ones here today that I got to go to school with and learn from. And I just think about that experience. People took time. It's scary. I get it. You don't have to say anything. Just say something. And it made me laugh. Just say, "Hey, let's get together when you're in town." And you never know what a little bit of encouragement that was, and that changed my life in all these different ways. Because when you're at your lowest, it's nice to have some pals. And that's part of my Trinity impact. And so I look for ways. I never know, now that I'm back, that I never know what one thing I might say to encourage somebody. When somebody asked me, I had somebody today, they asked, "Oh, what are some of those books that you read?" Well, I gave them 4, and I said, "When you're done with these, I got a whole bunch more." But you don't know what part of these books will impact their life, or maybe something I say, maybe. But I just try to just give back and pay back a debt that I can never repay. So thank you, Trinity, and I really am honored to be just included with this group.
Congratulations, Dan. Our next Tower Award honoree embodies the global perspective, servant leadership, and lifelong commitment to learning that define the very best of Trinity University. Megan Selman Kelly, class of 2002, serves as the Director of Executive Development at the National Foreign Affairs Training Center for the U.S. Department of State, where she helps prepare our nation's diplomats, including future U.S. ambassadors, to lead with purpose and integrity. While Megan earned her master's degree in public affairs from Princeton University, her career in public service has been guided by her calling that first took root here on Trinity's campus. As a student, Megan was a leader on and off the court. A proud member of the women's basketball team, she helped the Tigers capture a national championship. I think it was our first. An achievement that she credits not just to hard work and grit, but to trust, teamwork, and love. She was also active in the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, where she founded a faith community that deepened her sense of service. And she worked in the Study Abroad office, which inspired her lifelong passion for international engagement. It was there that she met Professor Donald Clark, whose stories from South Korea and the high seas of Semester at Sea helped Megan see the world through a new lens. Megan's Trinity years were filled with vivid memories, late-night adventures with friends, chasing down tortillas and Mexican food, the unforgettable day the Spurs practiced in the Trinity gym, and the somber morning of September 11th, 2001, when she stood in Mabee Dining Hall with classmates watching the Twin Towers fall, a moment that solidified her calling to public service. That calling has guided her life ever since. Beyond her work at the State Department, Megan has co-founded the Shine Foundation, which has operated for nearly 20 years in Liberia, West Africa, providing education, shelter, and nourishment for children in need, a powerful testament to her belief that true leadership serves others first. Megan remains closely connected to Trinity, supporting our athletic teams, mentoring young alumni as they begin their own journeys, and proudly telling new U.S. ambassadors that she too is a Trinity Tiger. Although Megan is unable to join us in person tonight, she has shared a message from Washington, D.C. that reflects her gratitude and her enduring spirit. Please join me in celebrating Tower Award recipient Megan Selman Kelly, class of 2002.
Good evening. I came to Trinity from Norman, Oklahoma, never expecting to fall in love with Texas, but I did spectacularly. And that love changed the entire trajectory of my life. President Beasley, Professor Tingle, the Alumni Association, others involved in the selection process, Brian, and then to the other award winners, I am so deeply touched and humbled by this recognition, and it means more than I can say thank you. And I'm gutted to not be there with you right now, but I'm there in spirit. And my grandparents, who were proud Texans, and my parents taught me and my 5 siblings, well, they showed us on a daily basis the importance of care for others, of faith, of love. And Trinity really built on that foundation for me. The rolling hills of campus, the Bell Athletic Center that became like a second home, and basketball coach Geyer, who greeted me from day one with such warmth and possibility. She later was not excited, was not thrilled when I told her that I had decided to study abroad for part of my senior year, but still she supported me, because that's what Trinity does for its students. It helps us to grow, to develop, to become who we're supposed to be, even when it's inconvenient for the university. Dr. Clark opened the world to me. Dr. Crockett taught me about character and leadership. And when I was studying abroad in Northern Ireland, I saw the Catholics and the Protestants still trying to rebuild their lives together. And I learned that people everywhere are just people. And it sounds so simple, but it's not. And Archbishop Desmond Tutu perhaps spoke about this best when he came to campus for a distinguished lecture series. And he spoke about a shared humanity. He said, "My humanity is caught up in your humanity." And I still remember that lecture and that message to this day. My closest friend at Trinity was Benjamin Thomas Britt. He transferred to West Point because to his core, he so deeply believed in duty, honor, and country. And he was later killed in Iraq. And there is not a day that goes by that I do not miss him, that I do not grieve, that I do not ask, Am I living up to what Benjamin believed in? And today at work at the State Department, I help train outgoing ambassadors as they become the president's personal representatives overseas. And several notable Texans have come through our seminar. And I tell them that I am a proud Okie, but that I am also an honorary Texan because of my grandparents, because of Benjamin, because of Trinity. Because Trinity taught me that it doesn't necessarily matter where you come from, but it matters what you stand up for. Because Trinity taught us about a shared humanity, that service is not just something nice to do, but that it's a responsibility and often comes at great cost. So thank you again for giving this kid from Oklahoma a home for 4 incredible, fabulous years, for helping me define my purpose, and for doing the same for so many other students. Again, I am so grateful. I'm so humbled. Thank you.
Congratulations to Megan, virtually. The final Tower awardee this evening is a lifelong storyteller, a journalist whose words have informed, inspired, and elevated public understanding, and whose connection to Trinity University began long before his first day on campus. Rex Smith, class of 1974, grew up hearing about Trinity from his brother Ken Smith, class of 1965. Thanks to Ken's devotion and a little 1950s Trinity film called The University in the Sun, Rex became captivated by this hilltop community. Once on campus, Rex wasted no time in making his mark. He served as freshman class president, treasurer, and then president of the student government. We have 2 presidents of student government tonight. Dr. Romero Garza also was. Co-founded the Trinity University Volunteer Action Center and sang proudly in the university's choral ensembles. After earning his Master of Science with highest honors from Columbia University's Graduate School of Journalism, Rex led major newsrooms in New York for 3 decades, including 18 years as editor-in-chief of the Times-Union, serving New York's capital region. A tireless advocate for truth and integrity in journalism, Rex has championed news literacy education across the country, guided nonprofit journalism initiatives, and held leadership roles on numerous professional boards, including the New York State Associated Press Association, the New York News Publishers Association, and even serving as a Pulitzer Prize juror. Beyond the newsroom, Rex has lent his voice quite literally to the arts, performing for 25 years with the Albany Pro Musica and serving as board president, where he helped expand the organization's education mission to reach hundreds of youth singers across North America. Maybe we'll get him to sing a song. Today, Rex continues to shape the public dialogue as creator of the Upstate American on Substack and as a longtime commentator and host of the Media Project, a nationally syndicated public radio program. And through it all, he's never lost touch with Trinity. A regular at Alumni Weekend, a dedicated class agent, and an enthusiastic Trinity Choir alum, Rex's connection to the university remains as strong as ever. Rex, your lifelong pursuit of truth, leadership in journalism, and enduring commitment to community, both in your profession and through the arts, embody the very best of Trinity. It's an honor to present the Tower Award to Rex Smith, class of 1974.
Well, thanks so much, except Paul took some of my remarks. The history I was going to tell you. I am profoundly grateful to Trinity University, not only for this lovely award, but for the university's impact on my life, really for more than 6 decades. I think of those brave Presbyterians who launched this venture in Tawakana in 1869, placing their hopes in the promise of liberal education for future generations. Not politically liberal, of course, but in the sense of the word's etymological origin, the Latin liber, which means free person. Education depends upon freedom. Freedom to study and to learn, to state the truths we learn, whatever the impact. And that kind of liberal education creates free people. It advances freedom. So Trinity gave me that freedom from the day that I arrived on this campus in 1970. But it offered that for my family long before. As you heard, I first became part of the Trinity community when I was 8 years old, when I watched University in the Sun in a church gymnasium with my big brother Ken Smith. Ken was going to be here tonight. It's his 60th class reunion. He would be here with his tennis teammates from the great 1960s Trinity team. But at 4 o'clock this morning, he texted me to say that he's sick. He can't make it. But about a dozen years ago, we were together at the Chapman Center as he received the Spirit of Trinity Award. And I was so proud. So because of my brother, I'm sure I was the only kid in South Dakota in the 1960s with Trinity tire decals on my fat tire bike. During Parents' Weekend in 1962, I got my first taste of Mexican food at Casa Rio and along the Riverwalk. And I felt the first magic of this place. I learned so much here. Trinity taught me the value of human diversity. In our great Trinity choir, I first experienced a Jewish service when we performed a concert in Hebrew at Temple Bethel. And in 2 tours of Eastern Europe, which we then called Behind the Iron Curtain, I learned not to denigrate people and cultures unlike my own. Here, I came to understand that human dignity and worth are not ethnic attributes or byproducts of one's religion. Trinity gave me the freedom to learn about democracy firsthand. At the end of my sophomore year, I ran for Student Association president. And I ran against a Triniteer. And I figured I needed a block of voters who could counter the tears and the spurs, you know. So I forged an unlikely alliance with the Trinity Association for Chicano Students. And I won. And that partnership helped in my work as the still wet behind the ears, as I was labeled, coordinator of San Antonio Citizens for McGovern in 1972. Trinity's history and religion departments especially taught me that you must pursue truth wherever it takes you, which was especially underscored in my studies of Christology, probing the many academic theories about the nature of the life of the historic figure, Jesus of Nazareth. That kind of experience at Trinity, of course, shaped my journalistic career as an investigative reporter, as a newspaper editor, and now as an advocate for thoughtful nonprofit journalism at a time when attention is being diverted to entertainment sites and partisan vendors of half-truths. Journalism really is about giving people a true view of what lies outside their own experience. That is intrinsically challenging. Great journalism values context and nuance, which, by the way, my constitutional law classes here at Trinity taught me, underlaid the decisions of our nation's greatest jurists throughout history. Real journalism explores and embraces complexity, which my social history classes here taught me is how we must understand our heritage, rather than as a story in black and white of good guys and bad guys on the frontier. Today, that freedom to pursue truth may be one of the essential differentiators for strong private institutions like Trinity in a competitive higher education environment where the system is under assault nationally by those who would limit education to simpler stories that support ideological ends. Trinity University's embrace of truth changed my life and my brothers, just as it continues to enhance the lives of today's Trinity students. We who have been its beneficiaries through these 156 years in Tawakana and Waxahachie, on Woodside and here in Trinity Hill, we are grateful. So I thank you, Trinity of Texas, for this award, for your steadfast insistence on freedom and truth all these many years, and I am confident you will sustain it. Thank you.
Congratulations, Rex. The next award to present this evening is the Outstanding Young Alumni Award. This award honors Trinity young alumni who have distinguished themselves early on in their profession or in service to the community, setting a standard worthy of recognition by the Alumni Association and the university. And Rose Minitaglio has done just that. Rose, class of 2015, is a storyteller whose words have reached millions, whose voice champions truth and humanity, and whose journey from Trinity's campus to the pages of the world's leading magazines is nothing short of extraordinary. As senior editor of features for National Geographic, Rose shapes stories that expand perspectives and connect us to the world. Her distinguished journalism career includes roles with People magazine, Esquire, Harper's Bazaar, Marie Claire, and Elle. Her reporting has spanned the globe, from the Olympic Games to the White House, and her work has earned national recognition, including 3 National Native Media Awards. Outside of the newsroom, Rose leads and mentors with that same Trinity spirit, volunteering with iMentor, supporting students and women entrepreneurs, and helping preserve her Italian-American heritage through the Columbus Citizens Foundation in Manhattan. At Trinity, Rose double majored in communication and political science, served as president of Phi Sigma Pi, wrote for the Trinitonian, joined Gamma Chi Delta, and earned the Kemper Deal James McCrory Endowed Scholarship Award. Today, Rose continues to do what Trinity taught her best: listen deeply, tell stories that matter, and write with heart. I invite you now to learn even more about Rose's inspiring journey and all that she's accomplished since her time at Trinity in this special video.
All of my time at Trinity led to this moment right now.
Rose Minitaglio believes in savoring the moment, and now it's in Washington, D.C. as a senior editor at National Geographic.
It kind of is the gold standard for magazine journalism, so it's an incredible honor and privilege to be able to work here.
She's an incredible asset, and she's a great example to her peers in terms of both the energy that she brings to the job and the competence with which she performs it.
Seemingly always a storyteller, as a little girl, she wrote dispatches about family trips and pleas to the tooth fairy to get all of her teeth back. She then honed her craft and pursued her passions at Trinity and has embarked on an accomplished career befitting the Outstanding Young Alumni Award.
So I got an email telling me about the award, and to be honest, at first, I thought it was spam, because I was like, there's no way. To be recognized by the school that gave me so much is such a big honor.
Very proud. Very, very proud, always very proud, but grateful at the same time that it's being recognized, which is not always the case.
We think so highly of Trinity. We could see how it transformed her from a young, smart, ambitious teenager into a fully formed young adult woman ready to launch into the world.
Rose Minitaglio has compiled a CV in 10 years after graduation that rivals what journalists would achieve in a career. Impressive stints at People, Hearst Digital Magazines, and Elle before National Geographic. Minitaglio has covered 2 Olympic Games, the tragic Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando, and has explored the people and current affairs that shape the world around us.
Through my job as a journalist over the last 10 years, I've gotten to meet and interview and really get to know some incredible, amazing people.
I love this about her. She's very open to different kinds of people and experiences that she thinks other people might find just as interesting as she does.
One of the amazing parts about Trinity is our alumni and what they've gone on to do. You know, for those of us that went to Trinity, we get to know these great people as classmates, but you have no idea what they're capable of as they leave Trinity.
Minitaglio wore gamma green proudly 2 or 3 days a week at Trinity, wrote for the Trinitonian, achieved a prestigious magazine internship at Sports Illustrated, and forged a transformational bond with mentor Sammy Johnson, known fondly for her red editorial pen as a retired professor in the Department of Communication, whose inscription on a graduation gift was foretelling: For Rose, whose name I expect to see at the top of a magazine masthead someday, Sammy.
It's kind of a motivating force for me, has been throughout my whole career. I think I try and remember everything that Sammy Johnson taught me and use it in my job.
I think she has shown that you can succeed by building upon the framework that Trinity offers you.
This was my senior capstone project.
Minutaglio created a 24-page magazine for Texas millennials, writing the articles, laying out the pictures, and creating hypothetical ads based on audience research. A final product Professor Johnson calls the best student capstone she's ever seen.
Really excited that other people who are probably already aware of all the great work that she's done, because they've probably read it widely and everywhere, finally have a chance to understand who the person is behind that work.
In the spring of 2015, Rose's final column for the Trinitonian was titled A Love Letter to My Time at a Small School. She reread it 10 years later at National Geographic.
Attending Trinity turned out to be the greatest decision of my life thus far. I couldn't have asked for anything more during my college career.
We're extraordinarily proud of you and look forward to what you're going to keep doing in the future.
Go Rose!
Congratulations on receiving the Outstanding Young Alumni Award from Trinity University. It is so very, very much deserved.
Hey Rose, it's Ben at National Geographic. Congratulations on achieving Trinity's Outstanding Young Alumni Award.
So please join me in welcoming this year's Young Alumni Award recipient, Rose Minutaglio, to the stage.
Okay, that video totally made me cry, so I'm so sorry. Tried to collect myself. I'm pretty sure the last time I was on a stage at Trinity was for my own graduation 10 years ago. And I, along with a couple of audience members who are here today, walked across the stage, jumped straight in our cars, and drove to Bombay Bicycle Club. So a lot has changed in the last 10 years, but that has not, and I'm sure we'll see all of you at Bays later tonight or this weekend. I want to first thank the videographer, Zach Wells, who put together that incredibly generous and beautiful video together. He did such an amazing job. Zach flew all the way to Washington, D.C. to meet me at my work at National Geographic. And as you can see, he interviewed my boss. So I have to say thank you, Zach, for putting him, as we like to say in journalism, on the record. I'm not sure how yet, but I think when it comes time for promotions or raises, that's going to really come in handy. So thank you. But really, I want to thank Trinity University, President Beasley, Ryan Thomas from the Alumni Department for this incredibly special Young Alumni Award. It means a lot to me to be recognized in my favorite city by a place I owe so much to, a place that gave me access to world-renowned professors and top internships, a place that also gave me some of my very best friends, the girls of Gamma Chi Delta. I think some of you are here today. We've heard a lot about the Gamma Gals from Mary Hayden tonight, but if I can just take a moment to brag about them. They are some of the most successful and impressive women I know. Women who went on to become cancer surgeons and PhDs and who work with AI tech that I don't totally understand, but it's amazing. And honestly, all of them should be standing up here. So I love you guys, and Gamma Chi till I die. So I grew up in Austin, the very proud daughter of a journalist and a professional dancer, both of whom traveled the world for their work. As a kid, I was really inspired by that. I was always really curious about new places, new people, new ideas. And Trinity fed that confidence to be curious, to dream big, to ask questions in class, to study abroad in a foreign country. You saw my selfie with the Pope. That's what that was. Trinity also happens to be the very best school in one of America's biggest, most vibrant cities. As a student, I had the opportunity to work in the office of a United States Senator. I helped organize the San Antonio Book Festival, and I even got to learn the ins and outs of sports media for our beloved San Antonio Spurs, Va Spurs Va. And all of that rare access, all of those unique opportunities, I only could have gotten that here at Trinity. I will say one job I did not get was campus tour guide, walking backwards, flag, fun facts, all that. But this is definitely making up for it. My favorite professor, Sammy Johnson, the estimable media and communications expert, even encouraged me to consider curiosity as a career, as a journalist. So I cut my teeth at the Trinitonian as a columnist. I wrote blog posts for the San Antonio Current. I'm pretty sure my roundup of the city's best hot dogs is still up on their website in case you get tired of Tex-Mex this weekend. And all of that led me to National Geographic, where I get to create stories every day about those new places, new people, and new ideas that I dreamt of as a kid. So I think they'll probably start playing the Oscars Get Off the Stage music soon. But before they do, I have to also thank my parents, Bill and Holly, who are here. They dropped me off at McLean, my freshman year dorm, on my very first day at Trinity. And you guys are my best friends, and I wouldn't be standing up here without your support. I love you. Trinity, it's such an honor to receive this Young Alumni Award. There's a fantastic quote: "Curiosity keeps leading us down new paths." So as we commence this great alumni weekend, I hope everyone remembers to ask questions, keep curious, and never stop exploring the world around you. Thank you.
She's already got a lot of awards, so she's forgetting these awards. So. Congratulations, Rose. I would now like to invite our Vice President of Alumni Relations and Development in 1989, that's Trinity grad, Mike Bacon, to the stage to present the final two awards of the evening.
I can't believe I'm the first person to compliment Paul on that maroon blazer. Is that amazing or what? That's what our alumni president should have. So, teachers, doctors, journalists, bankers, ministers, State Department ambassador trainers. I mean, what an amazing group of alumni we have. I'm really proud of the incredible alumni we celebrated tonight, but I'm also really proud of the two awardees we're about to honor. Their dedication and excellence and service exemplifies how Trinity prepares its graduates to live and lead lives of meaning and purpose. The Spirit of Trinity Award is among the highest honors presented by the Alumni Association. It recognizes alumni who, through exceptional and sustained service to the university or to their communities, truly embody the essence of what it means to be a Trinitonian. It's my great honor to introduce this year's Spirit of Trinity Award recipient, Dr. Jacob Tingle, who's the class of 1995. Jacob double majored in communications and religion at Trinity, and even while he was just a student, those who knew him saw him as a natural leader. He was thoughtful and collaborative and driven by a deep curiosity about how people grow and learn and connect through shared experiences. After earning his master's in sports management from the University of the Incarnate Word and his doctorate in educational leadership from UTSA, Jacob's journey took him back home to Trinity. And thank goodness it did. Since his return in the year 2000, Jacob has worn more hats than perhaps anyone else on campus. And through it all, he has remained the same steady presence, a creative thinker, a tireless advocate for students, and as one colleague affectionately called him, the mayor of Trinity. His forward-thinking leadership has not only allowed for experiential learning at Trinity to become an established program, but also a defining part of who we are as a university. Jacob's influence extends far beyond the campus, too. He's a respected scholar and a speaker in the field of sports management, serving on editorial and advisory boards and earning recognition from professional organizations around the country. In 2019, he represented the United States in Tunisia as part of the U.S. Department of State Sports Diplomacy Program. One of several times I've accused him of being on a boondoggle. Meeting with government leaders, sharing ideas about education and athletics, and as always, building bridges across cultures through the universal language of sport. But for all of his accomplishments, what stands out most about Jacob is his kindness, his humility, and his commitment to community. Whether he's mentoring students, cheering on Trinity athletes, or co-chairing the university's 150th anniversary celebration, Jacob brings energy, integrity, and a deep love for this campus. He represents the best of Trinity, the very best. Excellence with purpose, leadership with heart, and a lifelong devotion to helping others discover their own potential. Let's watch this video and learn more about how Dr. Jacob Tingle has made a difference and continues to make a tangible difference in our campus.
This is just who I am and what I do, as I care deeply about this place.
Jacob, congratulations. You are the spirit of Trinity.
He is the epitome of what this award means. Dr. Tingle is Trinity through and through.
He's been a huge mentor for me professionally, and he's taught me a lot about kind of how to move through the world.
It just makes me more and more proud that, to be affiliated with a university that has put out these type of alumni.
For nearly 30 years, as a student, director of intramurals, professor of practice, and now a tenured member of the business administration faculty, Dr. Jacob Tingle has embodied the vision and virtues that make him a most deserving recipient of the Spirit of Trinity Award.
Boy, does he ever embody Trinity. He's a friend to the entire Trinity community.
It's really hard for me to put into words, actually, because Trinity has just been, since I was 18 years old, deeply part of my core. We, as faculty and staff, have the opportunity to be entrepreneurial, to be creative.
Dr. Tingle brims with an innovative spirit, launching a creative genius course for first-year students to pursue passions and aptitudes. He formed the sport management minor, and on a restaurant napkin, laid out the framework for the Sport in England program, a once-every-other-year study-abroad trip to London that compares the British and American sporting models, and offers a platform, most importantly, where lifelong friendships are formed.
That's what alumni connect with. That's what resonates for people, is this desire to make the world a better place. And he does that at Trinity. That's where he works.
It's such a special class. He created it from nothing. He created the class. It didn't exist a decade ago, and now every year we have a wait list.
When I think of Trinity, I think of Dr. Tingle. He has devoted his whole life to giving back to students and giving back to this school.
Dr. Tingle was a member of Omega Phi, whose legendary intramural performances at the Bell Center warranted Trinitonian write-ups. His connection to Greek life has only strengthened by organizing leadership retreats at Mo Ranch.
These are all things that Jacob did and does with us and for us in student affairs and across campus because he wants to. They're passion projects. He sees the value added for students.
Dr. Tingle's true passion is for Trinity's people and programs to be at their best.
He is that person for me. He's a father figure in my life. He has offered me a course, some point of advice, or a video or TED Talk relating to something that I need to improve on.
At a football recruiting event, he was talking up business internships.
Specifically in the School of Business, we've got a really strong relationship with Dell. We've got folks that, are in New York City working at some investment banks up there.
And as an accomplished scholar, Dr. Tingle teams up on research and even co-publishes with Trinity students. High expectations are a hallmark of the collaboration.
They are being trained at the undergraduate level the way most of us were trained to do research at the doctoral level.
With the Basketball Embassy in San Antonio, Dr. Tingle has organized exchanges with Zambia and Macedonia that allow for both American and foreign-born coaches, players, and staff to develop best practices while learning from one another.
He's a key factor to making those programs a success. I think he's a very special person. I can't think of anyone more deserving of the Spirit of Trinity Award.
Congratulations on winning the Spirit of Trinity Award. You truly are what Trinity's all about, and no one deserves it more than you.
It's hard to fathom, but I'm deeply honored and truly humbled that this is happening.
So, tonight Jacob is joined by his wife Jen Tingle, class of 05, and a multitude of friends and fans and classmates. So please welcome Dr. Jacob Tingle to the stage.
Okay. That's good. All right, that's good. Thank you. Yeah, all right, I'm going to make sure I get this in order. What Dan didn't tell you is that he beat me in the three-point contest that year, and I did all I could do to try to block his admission at Trinity. But I am glad that you ended up here, and thank you, honestly. That was really, your remarks were wonderful. Thank you, Dan. So, thank you to everybody for being here, for being who you all are. My friends, students, colleagues, anyone who's ever spent 5 minutes with me know that I'm not short on words, but that I have 3 minutes. I've decided to be intentionally brief. So I'd like to begin, again, just with sincere thank you to those who nominated me, to the Alumni Association Board for recognizing me with the Spirit of Trinity Award, for all of my friends and former students who are now friends and colleagues and fellow alumni for being here, to my mentors whilst a student at Trinity, during my time in athletics, in the athletics department, and to those who have been and are currently faculty and staff mentors and colleagues. I truly am beyond grateful for each of you. You taught me how to be empathetic. You taught me to lean into authenticity. And you helped me realize that I have a deep responsibility for the next generation. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. So that's where my initial draft was going to end. That was going to be my speech. But I found out this morning that Jackie Robinson died on this day in 1972. And when I got that notification this morning, it caused me to reflect and think about my mentors, my family, and a little bit about my why. Somehow, I think the stars aligned for me to receive the Spirit of Trinity Award on October 24th. So I'd like to offer a few thoughts about where we are today and where we can be, and maybe I think where we should be. I've learned many life lessons through sports, lessons that were affirmed and continue to be affirmed by those I care deeply about and those who care deeply about me. In their book, Philosophy and Football, Geoff Andrews and Filippo Ricci wrote, collectivism is the ability to assign to individuals a precise role whereby they can best express their own uniqueness, while always bearing in mind that the main aim is what benefits the group. They continue, the basic structure of football, soccer, of a soccer formation is like the working class, symbolizing and guaranteeing daily bread. This is the basic work rate that must be enriched by the ideas and the creativities of things. A coach a mentor, a leader, has to bring together these two entities to act as an intermediary without creating hierarchies. For without the fullback, no matter how poor he is, the number 10 can achieve nothing. Success comes from bringing together the player's technique, ability, and physical strength with the manager's ideas and strategies. And Jeff is a wonderful person. Filippo is a wonderful person. We're hoping they are journalists. We're hoping that we're going to be able to host them in April here so they can do some philosophy of football work with us in the city. I was rereading that this morning, and I was like, that's it. That's my why. That's why I care so much about this place. I learned those lessons at this place. That's why I work so hard, not just to work here, but to help make it a place where everyone can be seen, can be heard, and can be moved. I'm honored to accept the Spirit of Trinity Award as a way to honor those who came before me and those who will come after. And I'm going to close with the final couple of sentences from Craig Hodges' memoir, Long Shot. I will eventually hear the final buzzer. And when that happens, I want my sons to know that I tried my best to do the right thing, both in and outside the family, because I want them to be inspired to pass that ball to their kids. That's how we keep the movement going, on and off the court. We owe it to the ancestors, and we owe it to the future. Thank you for this recognition, and please keep the fight going.
Congratulations, Jacob. These things get emotional. They really do. Our final award of the evening, the Distinguished Alumni Award, is the highest honor bestowed by the Alumni Association. Since 1961, this award has recognized Trinity's most accomplished and devoted alumni, and this year's honoree continues that proud tradition. This year's honoree embodies all of that and more. Christina Storn-Torvat, class of 2002, is a New York Times best-selling author and one of the most celebrated voices in children's literature today. She's a 3-time Newbery Honor recipient, winner of the Kirkus Prize for Young People's Literature, and the only author ever to receive Newbery Honors for both fiction and nonfiction in the same year. An extraordinary accomplishment that hasn't been seen since 1954. Her storytelling bridges cultures, inspires curiosity, and reminds us that courage, compassion, and wonder can coexist in every story. But before she became a literary powerhouse, Christina was a Trinity Tiger, earning her bachelor's degree in engineering science. She fondly recalls collecting loquats from the trees outside and attempting unsuccessfully to make jam in her dorm, hosting game nights and dinners with her classmates, and being inspired by the world-changing voices that came to campus, like Archbishop Desmond Tutu, who spoke here about justice and reconciliation. After Trinity, Christina earned her master's degree in science education from the University of Texas at Austin and spent a decade working in science museums, creating programs that made STEM exciting for young learners. Today, she continues that mission through her writing, combined with her engineer's curiosity and an educator's heart. She shared her passion for storytelling and discovery as a keynote speaker at major conferences around the world, and her books have been named Best of the Year by the Washington Post, NPR, School Library Journal, and the New York Public Library. Christina's journey reflects the very best of a Trinity education, curiosity that leads with creativity, empathy that fuels action, and a lifelong commitment to learning and sharing knowledge. Please enjoy this video to see for yourselves why she is so deserving of tonight's honorable distinction.
What are
are some other graphic novels that you like to read?
They really represent the best of Trinity. And so everything that we encourage our students to become, we see in our alumni.
Makes me proud to be a Trinity alumnus and to see that these folks went to school here.
When I think about the power of a Trinity education, I think about the ability to understand breadth and depth in many ways.
I feel like my time at Trinity prepared me so well just to take on lots of different types of challenges and just be ready to say yes to opportunities that came my way.
Could you turn to the grown-up by you and just pat them and say, "Thank you for bringing me here"?
As one of the most respected children's authors in the world, this is Christina Soontornvat's Element.
These are the best days. Do you like to write? Are you a writer?
A book talk at the Houston Public Library that unites her passions for literature and learning, for memory making with families, and encouraging kids to be their very best.
When I first found about this at a different library, I was just like, "Mom, we have to go to this." And because I really like her books.
My goal with all my books, number one goal, is that this is a book you can't put down. Like you've picked it up, you're about to go to bed, you have a bedtime, and I'm going to make you skip your bedtime.
Well, she conveyed that like you should be persistent and like have your dream and like do what you want to do and be what you want to be.
It's just an amazing feeling for the community to be able to come out here and actually see what her work is all about. It gets us to know that authors, relate to the community, they relate to the kids that have been impacted.
Growing up in a small Texas town and seemingly always reading at her parents' restaurant, Soontornvat applied only to Trinity and majored in mechanical engineering, pivoting about 10 years after graduation after discovering that a rich bedtime story while babysitting her nieces could be a wellspring for an entirely new career.
This story just kept growing and growing, and they wanted to hear more of it. They were totally hooked. They would be like, keep going, don't stop. And that story that I told them eventually became my first book.
Mechanical engineering was what she learned here, but man, going on to be a children's author and win awards and be known in the world for other things, it's incredible.
Dr. David Speener's children also got the benefit of Soontornvat's gifts for making babysitting enjoyable.
What I do remember was she was just a really delightful person. She was outgoing. She had a great sense of humor. She was very playful with the kids. Our kids really always liked it when she came over.
Soontornvat has written 24 books and is working on a 25th. There are picture and chapter selections, everything from fantasy to memoir. And this engineer turned writer became the first author ever to earn prestigious Newbery honors for fiction and nonfiction in the same year, 2021, for 2 books, both set in her family's native Thailand, A Wish in the Dark and All 13, her first nonfiction book about a cave rescue of a soccer team trapped for 18 days that required Soontornvat to draw on her math and science training from Trinity.
Having a background in engineering, being able to talk to people, with facility of all of these concepts and kind of understanding the sort of process that they went through in determining the safest way to get the kids out, that all helped me. Ultimately, what they decided to do was scuba dive them out, which was an incredibly complex problem. I've had children who've come up and said, I never read a book with someone who looked like me in the book, or this is the first time I turned to the back of the book and looked at your picture and I thought you looked like me, which is just so meaningful.
Christina, congratulations on receiving the Distinguished Alumni Award. You deserve it.
We are so proud of you and impressed with everything you've accomplished.
Christina, congratulations on this wonderful award.
Christina is joined by her husband, Tom Pate, from the class of 2002, and her proud parents are here tonight as well. Congratulations.
This thing is, if I drop that or knock that over, I'm going to be so
said. Thank you so much. I had no idea what the video was like or that they interviewed those kids, and that just was. You can see how fantastic a job as a children's author is. Thank you so much. This is a huge, huge honor. I first want to give a special shout out to my parents who are here in the audience, who have always supported me and importantly paid the Trinity bill. So thank you. I want to thank my husband too, who's an incredible, amazing person and a wonderful engineer who is changing people's lives all the time with his work. So thank you, Tom, for all of your support. To all of the incredible awardees, I am just so humbled to be in your presence. Hearing your stories tonight has been so moving, and I'm just can't believe I'm a part of this group. To the Alumni Board, thank you for selecting me. I know you had to have had such incredible nominees because Trinity has put out some fantastic graduates. And I think it says a lot about the school's values that you chose someone who went through the engineering program here and pivoted to make a career out of writing children's books. I meet a lot of people who we joke about the fact that I changed my career, and I think for some people they might find it incongruous that you would switch from being a mechanical engineer to being a children's author, but I think if you know anything about Trinity, you wouldn't find that so surprising. The best thing about attending this school has always been that your education is so much bigger than just your major, than just the classes that you take. Even as an engineer, we took classes outside of our program in religion and history and philosophy, and we were encouraged to study abroad and to volunteer. We absorb the idea that diversity and inclusion are such important values, and being in an environment that embraces that makes you better prepared for the future. We went to plays, we saw performances, we attended these incredible talks. Megan spoke about Cardinal Desmond Tutu coming to speak here, and she must have been a junior, and we were seniors when he came, and I will never forget that. And in fact, I was in the engineering building, and it was our engineering professors who came in, rounded us up, and said, "It's time, we gotta go, come on." And we all sat together in the Laurie Auditorium, and our professors were behind us, and I just think that that's so, so special. That does not mean that our engineering program was not rigorous and challenging. A few years ago, I came across journals that I kept while I was at Trinity, and I was thinking, I'm going to open these and see what kind of juicy, interesting things was I up to as a young woman in college. And it was mostly homework. So you have a lot of homework when you're journaling about your homework, okay? So we were expected to work really hard. We had to take ourselves really seriously, but we had these just amazing teachers who wanted us to succeed and who made themselves available. They were fantastic teachers, and I emphasize that because that's really not a given in a lot of engineering programs that the professors put the teaching first, and that's really what I felt. The most important thing that they taught me was that any problem that you're about to tackle, no matter how big it seems, you can solve it. You can come through it onto the other side. And I think that out of everything that I learned here, that's the skill that I bring with me the most as an author. Because if you think about a blank page, starting with a blank page, and you're going to turn that blank page into a whole book, that's not unlike an engineering problem. And I just tell myself, you have everything to solve your problems right here. You just have to find it. You just have to tap into it. We have 2 daughters, and our oldest daughter is a sophomore in high school, so it's not going to be long before she's thinking about what she wants to do, where she wants to go, what kind of college experience she wants to have. And whatever she ends up doing, I just hope that she gets equipped with the skills she needs to roll with change and to find her passions, to pursue her passions, and also to find out a meaningful purpose in life. And I feel like that's what Trinity gave to me. So thank you so much. This is just an incredible honor, and I'm so, so grateful. Thank you.
Congratulations, Christina. We are so inspired by the accomplishments and contributions of all the award winners, and it really means that what you saw tonight is just so typical of the many talented alumni in our community who have not yet been recognized. So please consider nominating your fellow alumni or yourself for one of these awards. You can use the QR codes on the back of your programs to submit your nominations for 2026. Will you please join me in one final round of applause for all of our recipients? I'd like to ask the awardees to please head back to the stage directly as we close for your formal award photos. And listen, I look forward to seeing all of you at the festivities we have planned tomorrow, including the Tiger tailgate before our football game against Center College and our Oaktoberfest themed block party on Oakmont tonight. If it's going to rain, it's going to happen in the night. We're going to be good to go for tomorrow, right? So thank you, everybody, and have a great night.